Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Previously On. This week it is September the 10th. I'm your host, Lemus, as always, with my co host here, Digital Dachi. It is September the 10th. Moving right along in this month of September. This year's flown by. This year's going by really quick.
For you, maybe.
But
Killing me.
it's definitely going quick for me. I've got uh 3 4 weeks, four maybe less weeks, 3 weeks until baby day. So moving right along. We had another appointment today, and they're already talking about possibly doing the induction a week early, so it's even less time. um Crazy. So we're at 36 weeks today, so not long at all. So yeah, everything has been flying by. But what you been doing this week? What you been up to? You done anything interesting? Went anywhere? Trying?
Not really. Just been working and playing games with you, pretty much.
That's fair.
Playing some
That's fair.
Minecraft Dungeons. Been playing some WoW still on the side.
Nice, nice, not bad.
Which, I mean, we could literally
Uh,
sit and talk about Minecraft Dungeons the whole day and I'd be okay with that.
well, we are definitely going to come back to Minecraft Dungeons because, like, I can't stop thinking about it. Um, Honestly, I don't think I have much more on the doing scale other than the baby
We
news I was talking
we
about.
watched Shang-Chi last week, which we didn't really talk about much. Because we were
Did
going
watch
before,
Shang-Chi.
did videos before we went and watched, but
Yeah,
that video never made it. It was like 20 minutes long, and I feel like you guys deserve better than that.
fair enough. Some weeks we just don't have nothing to talk.
Well, we were in
This
a
is going to be one of
rush.
those hot
Well,
weeks.
we were in a rush,
Right.
though, because we were trying to beat the timer and still didn't get to.
That's right. Oh man. But yeah, yeah, what yeah, I don't think there was. Oh, sorry. I was getting a notification popped up and I wasn't sure what it was, but rest assured, it's okay. Um, Trying to see. Yeah, okay. So for a quick thing, then, for just to cover what we talked about in last week's episode, I will say the only thing that really that um I did mention last, which has actually been a couple weeks back now, but was the nursery that we've been doing a lot more on the nursery and more baby stuff, and
Do
got the
not
crib
buy
up.
the little golden book about Pokemon. They have 3 copies now. Do not
Right.
send him that.
Yeah, the one that says a friend like Pikachu or Pikachu a friend like me or something. Yeah, yeah, we're good. We're good. We understand that Pikachu's a friend and to have a friend like Pikachu. That's skill.
I don't know how that. Whatever. I was gonna
That's some
tell
Ace
you because I
Ventura
forgot.
stuff.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna leave it this
Exactly.
way now that you said that.
You're welcome.
I forgot to tell you, I found a little like plush of Future Gohan online, missing the arm and everything.
That's cool. Where'd you find that? Etsy?
It was on Fye actually on their
Wow,
website.
that's surprising. Yeah, like something like that deep cut. You pun intended. You would have thought you would have had to found on
I
like
mean, it
Etsy,
had
like
its.
something.
See, I just seen the face of it, and it looked like Yamtrix had a scar over his eye. And I was like, wait a minute. And I seen the arm gone. I was like, ugh. I may be
I'm
ordering that.
surprised. I was gonna say, yeah, I'm surprised you haven't gotten that one. That's pretty cool.
For those that don't know,
Um,
Future Gohan is my favorite Dragon Ball Z character. Change my mind, you won't. Uh, Even though
Fair enough.
in the manga he was nowhere near as strong as they showed him in the anime, but that's whatever.
That's also fair. I don't think I read the manga. Oh wait, no, maybe I did.
17 was barely using half of his energy when he killed Gohan.
Right. See, I've relived that particular instance in several different platforms because I'm pretty sure I did read the manga at least for that one. I still have the VHS around here somewhere.
Played
And
sagas.
yes, this is why we're
It's a
friends.
really good game. I don't care that it was kind of silly.
And it's a deep cut. I was that you knew that's what I was going to say. I was fixing to say Sagas was the other thing, and I didn't think anybody else would even remember it or get it. But Sagas was the other place where you relive the future Gohan, future Trunks
I mean, they
scenario.
always do it in Xenoverse and Xenoverse. Well, Xenoverse 2 more accurately, but
See, I didn't get to play Xenoverse 2. I played
it's
Xenoverse
okay.
1, but I didn't get to play 2.
It's
really enjoyed
okay. I
one,
wouldn't throw it like in my favorite things ever, but I mean, it's got nice
Yeah.
customization. You can unlock all these different transformations, like your character that you make can learn Super Saiyan Blue and all that. So
That's nice. Yeah, because see, I played Xenoverse 1, and it was really fun. And I wanted to play Xenoverse 2, but I didn't. I did play
the only thing that turns me
a
away
little
from Dragon
bit.
Ball games anymore is I've played Budokai 1, 2, 3.
Tenkaichi.
Yeah, I played all them. I've played the card game they had out at the time a long time ago, where you had to like use cards and your character would attack out on the Game Boy. I did the
See?
I did the Dragon Ball game where on the Game Boy where it ends with Goku going Super Saiyan and you're fighting Frieza. I've done that. So the second
Legacy of Goku games.
Legacy of Goku 2.
Love those.
I
yeah.
got to the point where he turns Super Saiyan 2 and fights Cell.
There was a game. I don't remember what it was. I played both of those. I played all the, like you said, the Budokais, Tenkaichis. I didn't play the card game. So far, out of all the ones you've mentioned, the only one I've not played is that card game. I did play a game, I believe it's Game Boy, that was like a fighting game, but you would get a team of 3. Do you remember that one? And you could like rotate them out.
That might be the one I'm talking about because you had to play this card and then they did the attack.
See, I don't remember there being cards.
Well, they weren't really like cards. It was like they gave you these 3 options and you could choose, I guess. But you had to have certain amounts of energy to be able to pull off their bigger attacks. But it went up to the Buu Saga, I know for a fact, because I can remember playing with Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks.
See, this one was kind of like it was kind of like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, but oh my goodness, this is giving me like there's Legacy of Goku. There's a collectible card game. Legendary Super Warriors. That's the one you
I
played.
played. Legendary Super.
Because
It's
it says
really
use of
good.
in-game cards for attacks. Legacy of Goku 2. Wait. I think Supersonic Warriors is the one that I played. Or maybe it's Supersonic Warriors 2?
I didn't know there was a second one, but the first one's
Yeah, I think Supersonic Warriors was the one I played that I'm thinking of. Either way, like obviously we played a bunch of those. But yeah, I remember because I'm not real big on fighting games, but I really liked that one that I played.
But what I was getting at before we went on this little tangent was I've done the whole fight Raditz, fight Nappa, fight Vegeta, go fight Zarbon, go fight Dodoria, go fight Frieza for 5,273 different forms. Go fight Boo, go fight Fat Boo, go fight Kid Boo, go fight Super Boo, go fight Boo Tanks, go fight Buuhan. I've done this 910,000 times. I don't want to relive these stories. Like, I've done it.
Right.
I get that there's new players and new gamers, and I get that, but can we not have a jump, please? Like, is there not a way that we can just be okay, we want to play this?
And that's one thing that Tenkaichi did kind of good at. Or not Tenkaichi, sorry.
Budokai 3?
What's the new one?
Or no, Xenoverse?
Xenoverse, because it kind of gave an original story. It came up with that new time traveling bad guy, and you brought Future Trunks back in. He's not the Future Trunks I know. He's not the Future Trunks I voted for. Future Trunks is my favorite character for anybody who really wants to know. But oh yeah, Sagas. Sagas was good though because again, Sagas did something different. A lot of people didn't like it, but I did because it was different.
It was more arcadey fighter, which is what I'm okay with. Like, not arcade as in like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or Tekken. Right. It was arcade as in stuff's coming at you and you just get to fight it.
Right. It was like more of like waves and stuff. It's similar in a way to the Minecraft Dungeons thing, where you just move from point A to point B, fight waves of enemies, and then move point B to point C, fight waves of enemies, get a cutscene or two. But I enjoyed it. Like I said, I've enjoyed a lot of the. I mean, Dragon Ball Z. So I mean, I'm going to enjoy about anything they put out, but I still need to get caught up on Super. And I need to play Xenoverse 2. I did play that new Shonen Jump game. It's not called Shonen Jump though.
Talking about
Shonen something, I
God
think.
bless. I knew it until you. Ah,
Crap. Where's our brains at today, dude? But you know the one I'm
Yeah,
talking
it's
about.
got all the
You can
Shonen
play
Jump characters. You can play as Seto Kaiba. You
basically
can play as Yugi. You can play
Yugi,
as
play as Yu Yu Hakusho, you play Yusuke.
yeah.
Yeah, that game was pretty fun. I mean, I only played a little bit of it, but it was decent. Um, again, I'm not a real big like
I don't like
fighter,
fighters
like Mortal Kombat,
personally.
Street Fighter. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm not real big on those, but I mean, the like the roster of characters they had, the character customization where you can make your own character and combine their powers and outfits, and then the hubs where you could just walk around and to those characters with your created character and see like friends and stuff. Like me and my wife both made our anime characters, basically to look like us, but choosing obviously powers and costumes based on characters we liked, and got to just walk around these hubs and chat and goof off. That part was fun. And the fighter part wasn't bad.
Jump
I'm just not a
Force.
big fighter game. Jump Force, that was it. Good job. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Um, what did we? Where did we go? Oh, you was talking about the Gohan stuff. Gohan. Um, future Gohan. Yeah, good times. Man. Speaking of that, I said I've lived through that event on multiple platforms. You know something I still haven't got caught up on and finished yet? See if you're on the same wavelength here. It's another telling of that same story that I watched the first episode, but I didn't watch parts 2 and 3.
I'm telling you of that show. Of you?
Of the history of Trunks stuff, like the whole thing arc with future Gohan and future Trunks. I've played sagas, which lived through it. I've played whenever the Budokais and stuff played through it. I've watched the animated, obviously, telling of it, but also,
I'm very confused at your question.
what's the YouTube series?
Oh, A Lot of Hope.
Lot of Hope. I've not finished Lot of Hope yet, and I need to.
I like it. It's really good. They did an amazing job. Way better than any live action movie they've done.
I wanted to talk about that. Let's segue here.
Well, let's segue in a second, because I want to say one thing. The original Dragon Ball movie, not the Evolution. There was a movie made.
The old school. Yeah. I've seen that one.
You've seen it because I brought it over. I owned it. I had the VHS of it. For those that are, kids, VHSs were a thing when we were little. Anyway, it was a telling of Dragon Ball whenever we were not even born yet. Because I'm pretty sure Dragon Ball's been around since before we were born.
Yeah, Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball.
But the live action movie they made originally portrayed it really good. I just don't think there was like Goku in it.
Here's what's sad.
It only shows Evolution.
When you go to Wikipedia, it only shows Evolution for the live action.
It's because it wasn't really called Dragon Ball, I don't think. Maybe it was, but I don't remember.
There's a 1990s live action Dragon Ball movie. Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about too, because I remember watching that, and it was actually pretty decent for considering. I just don't know. There's like pictures of ones. There's The Magic Begins, but I don't know if that was it or
maybe that was it.
It's been so long that I don't really remember.
It is that one.
Wow.
That was the year we were born.
1991, yeah.
Did have Goku in it.
Wow, dude. That's so weird. It's on Internet Movie Database. Wow. That one was better than the Dragon Ball Evolution, for sure.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
Okay, but what I wanted to say, let me point this out. So, now we're going to get into what we've been watching because I want to talk about. Speaking of Dragon Ball and Evolution, is a great segue, but I want to go ahead and say, spoilers, spoiler alert, warning for the next 30 minutes or so. Probably not 30 minutes, like 10, 15 minutes. About Shang-Chi. Because, okay, here's your warning. Right now, skip ahead 10, 15 minutes. Okay. Shang-Chi is proof that they could do a Dragon Ball Z movie today and it would be great. To me, when we was watching, especially the third act, let me specify.
Drugs much?
The third act of Shang-Chi was a better Dragon Ball movie than Evolution. Like, you had
Shang-Chi's just a great visual experience overall.
It was a great visual experience. But I'm talking like they had the weird creature stuff, but they had like the martial arts mixed with like the like towers and like the shooting blasts and stuff. And even at one point when he shoots the rings, he does like that kind of motion. There's these giant dragons, very Shenron-esque looking. I mean, it perfectly blended that martial arts with the good effects with like a modern movie going kind of vibe and stuff. To me, I'm sitting here thinking like, man, it kind of puts me in the mind of what a good live action Dragon Ball Z movie would be like. And I was like, this is still a better live action Dragon Ball Z than Evolution was. But yeah, but that's what I was thinking because speaking of Dragon Ball Z, I'm like, thank you, man. That movie blew me away. I'm not going to say too much else about it because I don't want to spoil too much for anybody, our viewers, or anybody in the other trailer. But I'm just saying, to be fair, nothing I've really said was spoilers because we already knew the dragon was in it because of the trailer.
They reference Dragon Ball at one point, actually.
Did they?
Yeah, that girl towards, and spoiler, give it a second.
Oh, yes.
Towards the end, she says he went all Kamehameha on its ass.
Right, and he did. He literally did. Yeah. So see, there you go. Proof is right there. So I'm just saying, movie studios. I don't know who owns the rights. I mean, I guess Akira Toriyama and Toei Animation still owns the rights to DBZ, or not? Because they're still making Super. Well, y'all need to talk to somebody. Talk to Marvel or Disney. Probably not Disney, but talk to Marvel.
Don't let Disney get your hands in those pockets.
Yeah. Even though Shang-Chi was really good, like I said, not gonna see any spoilers. I'm just gonna say if you are able and have a way to go see it, I suggest you go see it. If not, as soon as it comes out or it's free on Disney Plus, check it out. Support it. It's awesome. One of the best Marvel like movies I've watched in a while. Granted, we've not had any in a while. That's the point. And not even just a Marvel movie. It was just a good movie in general.
Oh yeah.
Oh, excuse me. In general, like even as a standalone like origin story, I thought it did such a good job.
And it's setting up a whole nother section of the Marvel universe.
True.
Their phase
branching
5,
out a little bit.
whatever phase they're on.
We're either on 4 or 5. I think we're in 4. Yes, we're in 4. I do know we're in 4 because when me and the wife was doing our like Marvel watch through, which we still didn't finish, but we made it pretty good distance. We made it from the first Iron Man. We watched Iron Man 1 and 2 and 3. We watched all 3 of the Caps. We watched all. Well, no, we started basically with the very first one in release order, and we made it all the way up to. I think the last one we watched was Captain America: Civil War. It's either Captain America: Civil War or Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I can't remember which one came first or last, but either way, the next one we're supposed to be watching is Thor Ragnarok, and it's been a while. But that's because it's Halloween month. or at least it's September and October, as we're doing our Halloween weeks, and this week was slasher week. So we had 3 options for slasher week because there was 3 slasher franchises that I had only seen certain movies in. I hadn't seen all of them in. So a couple years back, well, actually, one of the first years we were together, she got me to watch all 4 Screams in 1 year, and then a couple years back, we watched every one of the Halloweens in 1 year. And so decided to try to catch me up on some other franchises, and so we had to catch. So she
It's
ended
either
up picking and
Halloween 3
deciding.
or 4 pisses me off.
See,
I think it's
one of
3
them.
because it has nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Right, that's 3. Because I 3. I'll say that much. We didn't watch 3.
I don't know
because she
what
said
the
it didn't count.
connection is. It doesn't make sense. Unless it's
Right, she said
something
3 don't count.
more deep-seated way back in the background that you need to read the books or whatever on. Because a lot of you Halloween fans out there, yeah, you're watching a guy murder, but do you know why he's a murderer? We will go into that at some other juncture.
Fair enough.
There's a lot of, like, he could kill Jason and Freddy, I think. Really think he could take them.
I think so. I think he could, and I agree. I can't wait. By the way, that's gonna be good. I've heard a lot of good things about it so far. I liked the 2018 movie they did, so I'm kind of high hopes for this one. But yeah, so we ended up landing on Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street before this week and last weekend, I had seen all but 4 of the movies, and now I've seen all of them. So we ended up watching Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which is Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, which is Dream Master.
3 is just fun movie, I think.
Yeah, 3 was really good. That's where they're in the asylum.
And that's also where they start realizing if they think or, they dream that they're a certain way, then they can be.
Right. They kind of tap into their dream powers or abilities. They each
Which, I mean, it got a little comical in that because that one guy thinks he's a wizard or whatever. And
yeah.
I ain't seen that movie.
But see, I really
forever.
enjoyed that one. That one is my 3rd favorite, I think, in the series.
See, I used to little backstory here. I used to go to Ohio to my grandmother's every year. We'd stay about a month and a half on some vacation. We would always get these banquet hot wings. They come in the little packs or whatever.
Yeah.
We'd probably get 2 or 3 packs of those, and we'd watch a scary movie every night. Me and my mom, my uncle, my sister and brother. My sister and brother, obviously being younger than me, fell asleep early most of the time. But we would watch the movie halfway through, and then it would get to a part where, like, the action's kind of, like, hit for a second, then it's going to go into the story building part again. And we would have an intermission like they would do old-time movie theaters, where you'd have the intermission to go out to get more popcorn or get a drink or use the restroom, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
We did that, and we would cook those hot wings, and we'd eat, and we'd sit up all night, just bullcrapping more or less, and watching scary movies. Those are some really fond memories.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
And we don't do intermissions like that anymore, and I get it.
No.
But at the same time, like, when we was watching Shang-Chi, the last 30 minutes, I was like, please hurry. Please hurry. Gotta pee. Gotta pee.
Yeah,
gotta pee.
Well, because that's because, like, in the 90s or 2000s, whenever they kind of stopped doing intermissions, like, we didn't have a lot, but the movies were like an hour and a half, hour, 20 minutes. Now you're looking at even, like, you're lucky to go to a movie theater and get out in 2 hours, let alone 2.5, 3-hour movies. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then it never fails when you're sitting there for 2.5 hours. Like any other time, like we could be sitting here for 5 hours and I never have to piss.
Right.
You sit there and watch a movie, you're like, oh God, I gotta, you're doing like little pee dance in your chair. You're just like,
That's right. Yeah, do this, do that. Okay, good job. I'm gone. Wow, it's like spoilers for Avengers Endgame, which Endgame is a really long movie, which is the whole point. They build it as 3.5 movie, and again, normally wouldn't have been that big an issue, but dude, and I left at a part that I was so frustrated because, again, Endgame huge event, huge thing. And I was like, well, the scene was coming up, and I'm like, well, this is the scene that I've seen parts of in the trailer, so I should be fine. I'm pretty sure everything I needed to see in this one scene was basically in the trailer. So I get up, went to the bathroom. I come back, and my wife's like, you picked a bad time. You picked a bad time to go. Why'd you go then? And I'm like, was it really? Did I miss that much? And she's like, for you, yeah. Yeah, you picked a bad time to go. And I was like, I didn't know. I didn't know if there was a right time to go. But for those of you that have seen Endgame, it's the Hawkeye scene, the infamous at the beginning. Well, he's not Hawkeye during this scene. He's Ronin, which is his character when he wears the black suit and the mask, and he's like fighting Yakuza in Japan. And if you know me, I love samurai stuff. I love Japan. I love all that kind of like swordsman-y, martial artsy type stuff. Plus, the guy that he was having a sword fight with is Hiroyuki Sanada, who's one of my favorite actors. Um, for those of you who don't know Hiroyuki Sanada, he was in The Last Samurai. He was in the new Mortal Kombat remake. He played Scorpion. He was in Rush Hour 3. Great actor. But
I've actually seen Rush Hour 3, believe it or not.
It's good. Good movie.
I don't know which one feeding him, but he's too damn big.
It was a fight between Hiroyuki Sanada and Hawkeye as Ronin in this big sword fight in the rain in Tokyo, Yakuza battle. And that was when I decided to go use the bathroom. And that's why I came back. She's like, you picked a bad time to go. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because in the trailer, you see obviously Black Widow shows up to recruit Hawkeye, and he's like, just got done like killing some guys. So I literally thought that's all it was going to be, like her just walk up on him after he like murked some dudes, and then they were going to have their whole talk about, oh, you've got to come back and all this stuff, and it's going to be like a more heart to heart talky bit, and then it's like, no, he just straight up had like samurai showdown, and I was like, great, but luckily, I ended up getting to watch it again and again and again because Endgame is worth it, but yeah, bad times to go pee in movies, but long story short, we went around this long way. Nightmare on Elm Street. I've watched them all now. So we watched 3 and 4. We skipped 5 because I'd already seen it. We watched Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. And then we watched Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie of all time. It goes New Nightmare, then the original, and then probably 3, which is Dream Warriors. And then probably Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy versus Jason just so good. Like,
it is.
If I had to rank the big 3, and yes, I'm calling in the big 3 because I don't care much about Hellraiser because he's in there somewhere, but whatever. I would go Michael Myers.
Yep.
Freddy, and then Jason. Not that I hate Jason. He is a killing undead person. That's all he is.
He's a zombie with a machete. Right, I get that.
You watch his movies just so you can see teenagers have sex and die. That's the premise of his movies. If you have sex in his movie, you die.
Yeah. It's the rules.
Yeah, Scream rules.
You gotta listen to the rules. Oh, good times. So then we watched I think that's and then Titans. We've been trying to catch up on Titans. We
how'd that
finished
go?
season 1. Finished season 1. I am enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying it quite well. Pretty good. The first season ends on such a cliffhanger that I'm actually kind of glad that we waited to watch it, because man, that would have sucked having to wait to get around to the next episodes. But it's very good. Like I said, the first handful of episodes are kind of left me kind of on the fence. That's why, like, we had watched the first 5 episodes.
I read that it's very like story building in the first like 6 to 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So once you get past it, though, it becomes like everybody's stuff. It's not.
Right. Like I said, we watched the first 5 or 6 episodes, and it's all fine and dandy and stuff, but we kind of took a break from it, and then we decided to come back because everybody's obviously raving about the new season and how good it is. And again, as I said in my earlier video, you see my Nightwing here. I got Robin here. I'm a Nightwing fan. I'm a Robin fan. I'm a Grayson fan.
He's a Dick fan.
He is my favorite DC. I'm ignoring that comment. He is my favorite DC Comics character. Period. And so I was like, I got to give it another shot. And again, we started watching it. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. But when we got to episode like 9 and 10, like the last 2 episodes of the first season, or maybe it's 10 and 11, something around in there. I think it's 9, 10, and 11. I don't know. Either way, like those last like 2 episodes, like it amps up hardcore, especially episode 10 or 11. I can't remember how many episodes are in the first season. The season finale of the first season, when it focuses more on Dick Grayson, and he's in like a dream state, and he returns to Gotham in his dream state because Batman's gone crazy or something. Like that episode's really good. Like it just gives you that gritty, kind of darker, kind of Batman Nightwingy kind of take you want on it. And so I'm excited to see where they go with it. We're going to keep pushing forward on that. So outside of Shang-Chi, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Titans, I think that's going to do for all I've watched this week. You watch anything else this week?
No. Like,
okay.
Other than Shang-Chi. Did I?
Then, did you?
I've been watching clips of Titans.
That's good.
I'm not a watcher. I don't watch stuff very much.
You want to?
Hate you. Anyway, I don't watch a lot of things, so I just watch clips on YouTube. Like, I've been watching Titans.
Sorry to interrupt. I just noticed something. Speaking of watching things, I forgot. We've also been watching What If, the Marvel's What If. No, it's an interesting thing. I said that name, and I bet most people don't realize that that's his name.
Want the Watcher's
because
name?
they've not mentioned like it's not mentioned that in the MCU show, because like every episode is narrated and opened and closed by the Watcher, but they've not actually referred to him as Uatu the Watcher, and which is interesting to me, and I'll tell you why. First of all, because like again, I can say Uatu and people can be like, what the heck did he just say? Bless you. But that is the name of the Watcher for Earth. There's the fun part.
There are multiple Watchers.
There are multiple Watchers, which they showed in one of the Marvel movies. Don't remember which one it was. I think it may have been Guardians 2.
Yeah, I didn't watch Guardians 2.
I think it was Guardians 2. But there's a scene where one of the characters is like flying by in space, and it has Stan Lee in like an astronaut suit, and he's sitting on this like little asteroid, and there's like 3 or 4 Watchers around him, and he's like, and then I went and told him, like retelling the stories to this group of Watchers, which I think is fascinating because that's MCU, so that's canon. But then obviously they're saying the What If series is also canon and that Watcher. But they've not specified the connection between that Watcher and those Watchers, and they've not really stated that there's pointed out the fact there's more than one, or that if he is Uatu the Watcher. Fascinating deep dive realization, kind of Easter eggs that they've not really touched on in the new What If series. But anyhow, you continue. You've been watching clips because you're not much of a watcher.
Yeah. Although I do want to watch the last Resident Evil movie before the new Resident Evil movies start coming out. The remakes.
Can't wait for the new one. Yeah, I think they're gonna be good.
All right, let's go to
I'm gonna cover, before we get into the next big category, I'm gonna cover a quick one. I have been reading more this week. I've been reading more Loki book, Where Mischief Lies. I am now at like 60% of the way through the book. It's pretty good so far. It's been a really good setup and build up so far. And now, well, I mean, the opening had some really good like actiony bits and very interesting bits. And then it slowed down to the middle, but when I say slowed down, it's not like a slog or like a crawl or nothing. It's still interesting things, but it's like again, it's Loki trying to solve murders in mid-century London, England. So like, it's more about the process than it is big showy action stuff. It's not a Thor book where it's all about swinging hammers and lightning shows. It's Loki. It's deduction and deception and stuff. But I just got to a part where he basically found out who the killer is, and it's somebody he knows and all this stuff. And so I get the feeling it's fixing to really take a turn for amping it up. It's going to get really interesting because he's kind of torn on like, hey, I don't know what to do here. So I'm really interested to see where it goes. But it is going really good. I'll keep you guys posted on that. That's all I've been reading. I downloaded some more comics, but I don't think I've read any yet. So let's go to playing. Before we talk the big one, I will say that I did play more of Last Stop, which is like a story-driven, make your own choice kind of game, but you play it from. I'm guessing they're going to intertwine at some point. So it starts out, it's 3 people on a bus, and each one it has a different chapter title, and it says like play chapter 1, play chapter 1, play chapter 1. So I played chapter 1 for this one character that I thought was going to be the most interesting. But after you beat chapter 1 for that character, instead of playing chapter 2 for him, you have to play the chapter 1s of the other 2 characters. So then I played chapter 1 of the character I thought would be the second most interesting. And then it got to the third one, and I had to play the third one, which I'm just like, I don't think it's going to be the most interesting. And it turned out to be the one that I'm the most invested in. So as soon as I beat their chapter 1, then it opened all 3 back for chapter 2, and I went straight to their chapter 2. So yeah, very interesting game, very trippy. I'm not really understanding for sure what's going on with all 3 of these different stories yet, but I'll keep you posted. Now, have you been playing anything else other than Dungeons?
World of Warcraft.
How's WoW going?
Got my 4th character to 60.
Ooh, nice. Is that max level?
Yeah, 60 is max level. I got my Demon Hunter, Rogue, Paladin. Maybe I just got 3 to 60 now, and I'm working on a Shaman now to be a healer.
Nice. And these are all Horde, I assume.
Yes. There is no other faction. I don't know what you're talking
about. Touche. Okay. What can you divulge what races you're playing as?
Demon Hunter's Blood Elf, Paladin's Blood Elf. Rogue is an undead, and then my Shaman is a troll.
Interesting. I remember back in the day when I played with you like many moons ago.
Did you?
I think you had a lot of either trolls or ogres or orcs. I always get
orcs,
the 3 confused.
Not ogres.
Yeah, you had a lot of orcs. That's what I thought. You was a big orc fan.
I still have my original orc hunter that's on the original server I played on. I just don't like hunters anymore. They've changed them too much. They're just ranged rogues.
So now it seems like you got a good little sweet spot for blood elves.
Well, it's because, unfortunately, blood elves, or demon hunters can only be blood elves or night elves. Nice. And then paladins back in the day could only be blood elves for the Horde.
Right.
Because used to, in the original, there was no such thing as an Alliance Shaman, and there was no such thing as a Horde Paladin.
Right.
Orcs were shamans, or on the Horde, orcs and trolls were shamans. And then on the Alliance, dwarves and humans were paladins.
Right.
Like that, they were exclusive to that side. If you want to be a paladin, you had to play Alliance. If you want to be a shaman, you had to play Horde. You didn't get a choice in the matter.
Sure. So
which, when I first started playing WoW, I always thought, Alliance, they're the good guys, and kind of find out they're kind of the bad guys. Because as humans are wont to do, anything they don't understand, they immediately want to destroy.
Yeah. Your thoughts? It's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't give a whole lot of thoughts. Your thoughts on the Warcraft movie?
Well, I loved it. If you do like I do with movies, I've watched all the Spider-Mans that's come out.
Yes.
And up until now, they've all been like, okay, this was this movie. I like it for these things. I dislike it for these. Watch Amazing Spider-Man. This is good. This is good. I like this part. That part was whatever. And then the newer ones I haven't watched all the way, but I'd always been able to keep them separate up until now because they're all going to be put together. I'm one of these, like, I can watch movies and keep them separate from their comic book or their source material, I guess would be the better way to put it. Like, I was just thinking of it.
Like, wow.
Well, with WoW, you can do it that way. I was trying to... Oh, Batman. Batman movies, none of their characters are like they should be compared to their comic book counterparts. Are they close? Sure. Are they pretty, like... How do I put it? They still have the personality, but they portray it differently than you're used to seeing or used to reading, I guess would be the more accurate way to put it.
Kind of spin and touch on it, yeah.
But I mean, I can read a Batman comic and then go watch a Batman movie and not be like, well, that didn't happen in the comics. This is bullcrap. Right. No, it's a whole different experience. And I did that with the Bale Batmans. Like, I don't hate the Bale Batman, but it's definitely not my favorite. We all know George Clooney is my favorite Bruce Wayne and whatever, and that's my own prerogative, whatever.
Fair. Everybody's got an opinion. Like I said, the thing is, that's my wife's also the George Clooney Batman, but I can respect that because my favorite's the Val Kilmer Batman, and a lot of people hate Val Kilmer's just as much, if not worse, than they do George Clooney's.
Well, they're saying Val Kilmer might show up in the Flash movie as old Bruce Wayne.
See, I thought they were going to bring Michael Keaton back.
Or, yeah, Michael Keaton. I don't know why I said Val Kilmer.
Yeah. See, Michael Keaton, I know they're wanting to bring back. Poor old Val Kilmer, they couldn't bring him back even if they wanted to. He's got, like, throat problems and stuff.
But regardless, what I was getting at was keeping them separate. Like, World of Warcraft, none of the stuff that happened in the movie, well, I ain't gonna say none of it, but most of the stuff that happened in the movie never, ever happened in the lore. Right. At least not the way it shows.
Right, because they actually made some of the Alliance guys out to be good guys in the movie a little bit. I mean, some of them were still bad guys. They kind of mixed it, right?
Well, like,
we had some good guys that weren't good.
For a movie that's been out for like 11 years or something, spoiler alerts, Medivh, who is the Archmage of... he's not an Arch. He's the freaking... I can't even remember the name of it because I haven't been to Karazhan in a very long time, but he's like the one chosen one or whatever that controls all magic in his little world or whatever. That's actually not the right way to put it, but whatever.
I get you.
He's like the strongest wizard, right? Like he's been granted the boon of strongest. But he's been corrupted, and that does happen in the books and in the game and stuff. But he is corrupted through his mother in the books. He didn't just all of a sudden suck up the fail and then all of a sudden like, oh damn, what's going on? Yeah. I mean, in the movie, he still didn't technically do it that way. He was already infected, but they never really specify as to why. He does help open the Black Portal, which is what does the Dark Portal, not Black Portal, whatever. He is the one that helps open it in Black Morass. Okay. But even so, like, there's a lot of stuff. The way Thrall's mom dies ain't right. The way Thrall's dad died isn't right. Thrall wasn't automatically born green like he, or turned green the way he was. It was an interesting way to change it, and I loved everything about it. Not just because I'm a WoW freaking nerd, but because it just... For a fantasy adventure type movie, if you never read anything WoW before, it set up so much of a universe that you could have expanded on that the community themselves is like, well, that ain't how it happened in Warcraft 3 or Warcraft 2 or Warcraft 1 or in World of Warcraft, it doesn't go on that way. Big deal. It was a good movie.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
And Legendary did the effects for it, and as we all know, Legendary does great work.
Yeah. They're really good.
They're the ones that did all the work for Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim, yep. I think they did some of the Hellboy movies back in the day too, or the new one anyway.
I can sit and talk about WoW stuff all day.
And I would love to join you in that, but we have another game to talk about, and that's Minecraft Dungeons. Switching from Blizzard to Mojang. Yeah, dude, we've been playing it past 2 or 3 days. We've already got a couple videos on the channel. Gonna have some more up soon.
I got 1 rendered and 2 more coming up after quit being lazy after this video.
Which means I'll probably have everything posted and get them shared tomorrow. Speaking of that, before we get too much further, I'd like to take a minute to say a message from our sponsors. We don't have sponsors, so instead I'm just going to plug our channel. God. We do now have an Instagram and a Facebook account, so you can be sure to follow us on both of those for updates, pictures, video sharings, news, just fun adventure pictures whenever we go out. If we go somewhere cool to eat or something, or do something cool, adventurous, share a picture, share some kind of post. And we still have our Twitter channel as always, so be sure to follow all those. I'll put links for everything down in the description of this video and any future videos. Definitely check those out, and definitely, spread the word, spread the love, share the love. That's been a word from Not a Sidekick Productions, our wonderful hosts for this week, sponsors for this week. Couple of great guys they got running that channel. So back to you guys. All right, we're gonna talk some more Minecraft.
You make me hate everything about life.
Listen.
Not that I needed much help, but
I was gonna say it's not just me. That's
the point.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the heck out of it. It's a really nice, fun, laid back dungeon crawler.
Well, you said that until we fought that one boss. He's like, well, it was laid back.
Yeah. No, I noticed because I just recently rewatched them. I showing them to the wife there, the first 2 episodes, and in the second episode, so the first thing that happens is I go, you asked me, you said, well, so what do you think so far about this game? I'm like, I'm just liking how laid back it is, simple controls. It's not too hard. It's pretty much, literally the words from my mouth. It's pretty much just, what you see is what you get, click and shoot kind of thing, click and slash. And then all of a sudden our first big boss, the Evoker, shows up and does that one move where it runs a bunch of stuff on the ground and clamps you, and it does almost a one hit, takes your health down almost all the way. And I was like, oh crap, I jinxed us and all this stuff. And we both survived that time.
I didn't survive. I died.
You did. No. You did the first one. The first Evoker that I jinxed us, you survived. And then, because I even told my wife, I said, I could have sworn he died at this one. And I'm like, I thought he died fighting the Evoker. And I'm like, oh, well. I didn't even think nothing of it. We get to another Evoker later in the map. And literally the words come out of my mouth, oh, we're ready for you this time. Dachi goes down.
To be fair,
both times I jinxed this.
To be fair, I am kind of running the more tanky build out of the two of us, and I got hit by the books because that's what them are that come up. They got little spiky mouths.
Yeah.
They come up like this, and they get you.
Little mimic stuff.
But not only that, I was already fighting 7 skeletons that I was not ready to deal with.
And that's what I was telling her. I was like, in fairness, just I got that buff earlier that was called Cowardice, and it's for if you have not lost any health or taken any damage, you do extra damage. And I'm like, I don't really like the fact that it's called Cowardice, because the reason I didn't go down as much as you is, again, you were taking a tank role and I was doing a ranged one. I was doing the arrows and crossbow, so I was actively staying back to do range stuff. So it wasn't like I was just sitting back there not doing my part. It's just, and so I don't like the fact that it's oh, you get a buff for being a coward if you've not taken any damage. And I'm like, you can be strategic and still not take damage. But I digress. I still love the game. Still a lot of fun. I'm excited to play more. I'm excited to see. I seen, because again, obviously when we're playing, I couldn't see your screen. So when I was watching, I seen where you flipped over to the DLC that you had. Those other spots. See, on mine, obviously it's locked. It says DLC for the other realms or whatever. Some of those look interesting. We'll have to eventually look into that.
I'm hoping it's like some other games are. On Steam, there's a game that I think you would enjoy. because me and you are not outdoorsy people. But I mean, the thought of going out and hunting is fun.
I want to get more outdoorsy. I'm wanting to kind of like change some of that.
But
I gotta lose this weight first.
There's a game called Hunter Call of the Wild. If I own the DLC
on Xbox,
well, you're gonna get it on Steam because I'm not playing on Xbox. I have like $150 worth of DLC. If I own the DLC, you don't have to pay for it. As long as I'm playing it, you can join it, which I think is pretty dope.
Nice. Yeah, I'll look into it. I liked it. I played it on Xbox for a while. I do like those type of games. It's very reminiscent of the old school like Cabela games, which I used to play all the time. They were fun. It's a nice, relaxing. Again, it's kind of similar to where it's like
you say relaxing. I've been killed by rhinos 2 or 3 times. Not rhinos, boars. They'll run you over and knock you down and kill you.
Fair enough.
All I heard was rustling one time, and I told Robert, I was like, "There's something in these bushes right here." He said, "Well, what is it?" Next thing I know, bum bum. To my corpse. That's what it is.
Like I was watching a movie earlier. I started it the other day, but I finished it today. It's called Into the Grizzly Maze on Netflix. It's like an old school. I don't know how old this movie is, but it's one of those kind of like survival type. These two brothers out in the woods. Circumstances let them both out there. They're kind of having a strange relationship. But anyhow, they're being hunted, and people are being hunted and killed off by this grizzly bear that's like this giant grizzly bear that's just like has no remorse for anything else. It's hunting other grizzly. It's hunted other bear and ripped them apart, and it's hunting humans and ripped them apart. Like those old school nature movies you'd see, monster movies you'd see on Channel and stuff. It's very reminiscent of those, but it had like big name actors in it. You had like Billy Bob Thornton, Thomas Jane, James Marsden. And it was good. Like it wasn't a bad movie by no means, but it's just funny because some of the CG or some of the effects in it was really bad. Like the you could tell that every time the bear was like had like supposed to have blood on its mouth and stuff, it was CG blood over top of a real bear. They used a real bear, like a trained actor bear, but they would just CG all of the like gore onto him, which looked really bad. Also, I understand for the fact of like this movie that the bear is the bad guy here, but they start the movie where the bear is attacking poachers and like mean hunters. So it's like, okay, they're the bad guys, and this bear's just attacking them, and it's fine. He's a little angry. But then towards the end, and even like the good guys, like the main good guys are like, we're just going to try to trank him, try to see what's going on. But then at the end, like after he's killed like 3 of the good guys, and like he's like chasing them to their boat, and it's like the last part of the movie, last 10 minutes of the movie. They just don't care. They legit try to set the bear on fire. They shoot a flare at it, bounces off of the bear. They one guy takes an axe and swings it right into the backside of the bear. The other dude stabs the bear in the throat. And I'm thinking, how did this get past PETA? Like PETA has been coming for Pokemon for years, which is these little cartoon video games. These people swing an axe into the bear's buttocks and then stab it in the throat, set it on fire, and it's supposed to be like an actual bear. And I'm just like, how is this existing versus that?
How long ago was it made?
Oh, let's see. Let me look this up for you. Grizzly Maze. Good movie though. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's a fun like retro throwback. 2015.
Wow, that's not that long ago. I figured it'd be like the early 90s or something.
I did too. Well, see, that's the thing. The CG, this like everything about it feels like a late 90s, early 2000s movie. So I'm actually really surprised that was 2015. I did not know it was 2015.
Into the Grizzly Maze, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Well, that guy's got half his face ripped open.
Oh, you must be looking at what's his name?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a big old bear.
Oh, he's massive, dude. It's crazy. It's a good, like I said, it's entertaining for that nostalgia throwback. But I'm just saying, considering that came out, if that would have came out like in the early 2000s or late 90s, I could have forgiven some of those effects and some of the ridiculousness of it. But like, I don't know. Knowing that was 2015 makes me kind of cringe.
I see what you mean by the CGI.
The blood effects and stuff. Gore, yeah. Like the makeup effects they did on the people whenever he did them.
This picture right here, if it's not like if you wouldn't seen that in theaters, which I don't know if it ever came out in theaters, if it was in theaters, it would have looked goofy. But I mean, if you're not on a big screen, that right there looks pretty believable.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't a bad movie. But why did we get on to grizzly bears?
You was talking about what you've been watching. Here? You was talking about...
No, we talking about Minecraft Dungeons.
Yeah, but you were talking about you just watched a movie.
Right, but I brought it up for a reason. I don't know. Now I have no idea why I brought that up. But now you know.
I took a tank roll. I'm trying to remember our conversation.
I know, because we talking about Minecraft Dungeons. And something you said led me to that. I digress. I don't know.
Oh, I have no idea.
But you guys got a nice little tangent about Into the Grizzly Bays. Go watch it. You'll thank me or hate me later. But yeah, I mean, I reckon that's about what I've got for the week. Do you have anything else to add before we...
Just confusion, because now I don't know why we talked about that.
We'll figure it out and we'll tell you in next week's video. Here's a reason to come around next week to find out why we were talking about Into the Grizzly Bays.
What would it have been?
What?
What could have caused that?
Well, here's the good thing. This is going to be recorded, so we can always just go back and look. But after we wrap it up, we'll find out. If not, you guys tell us in the comments down below. Tell us your favorite survival movie, like your favorite old school, retro, cheesy survival movie. Oh, we talk about Cabela's Big Game Hunt.
Oh yeah, that's.
And the hunt Call of the Wild.
There we go.
Got it. I knew we'd get it. So yeah, tell us your favorite old school survival hunting, lost in the woods kind of movie.
Or about your favorite people that obviously has Alzheimer's already in their early 30s. Yeah.
We're professionals here.
Anyway.
So we're in the wrap up phase here, people. Come on.
I mean, we were in the middle of Minecraft Dungeons and somehow it just went. Oh, we talking about the DLC. That's what caused it all.
Right.
I was hoping that the DLC was like that, but anyway, there's a lot of DLC out that was not even that I can remember when it first came out, but I had the season pass for the first one. But I don't know about the rest of them. We'll just have to see which ones we can get. They're only like $5, so it's not bad.
That ain't bad. I'm excited to play more of it. But yeah, I mean, that's all I really had else to add about it, was that it's good. Everybody should play it. We're going to play more of it. Be sure to watch us play it, comment, and subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. You got anything else?
No. Apparently Google's been carbon neutral since 2007, though. According to the bottom of this webpage, but...
The more you know. See, we're learning facts left and right. So everybody, I want you to do me a favor, okay? Besides leaving a comment, letting us know your favorite action survival movie down below.
Or your favorite CGI blooded bear.
Or your favorite CGI bear. I'm looking at you, Yogi fans.
That was a real thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did like a weird half animated, half... yeah, Justin Timberlake voiced Boo Boo.
I never watched it.
And Tom Cavanaugh, who plays Harrison Wells in The Flash, played Ranger John.
Now I have to watch it, because anything he does, I want to watch.
And Dan Aykroyd played Yogi Bear.
Speaking of movies that terrified me as a child, the big floating head from Ghostbusters.
Oh, good movie. I can't wait to watch more Ghostbusters. I can't wait to watch the new one.
I wonder if he'll be in it again.
I think so. I think he's already...
Wasn't
I think
he always the bad guy in every one of the Ghostbusters?
Oh, you're talking about the floating head. I don't know. Maybe.
I can't remember what his name was.
Zool?
Yeah, something like that.
Zool. But yeah, I want you guys to do me a favor. Be sure to like this video. Share it. Click that subscribe button. Ring the bell. And tell people about, bring the masses in and make them like, comment, subscribe, and share. And lastly, I want you to do one more thing for me, okay? And this is the real important thing. As always, as I always recommend, enjoy. And we'll see you guys next time.